We're back at rom-coms.
Oh my gosh, and I have never been happier. I love rom-coms.
No one would have ever guessed, Tyler.
Hey, well, yeah, it's fair. Guys, well, do you ever feel like an idiot sometimes?
Have a good fight.
All the time. Are you kidding me?
It's a constant state I find myself in.
Right.
So I just need to make sure other people are in there.
Yeah.
But I didn't. So when I saw that, obviously the trailers for this movie that we're going to watch had a lot of singing, but it didn't ever like connect to me that the movie would probably have a lot of music in it. And then I clicked. It's Jennifer Lopez.
Right.
Obviously, there's going to be a lot of singing.
Yeah.
And so it just, when I started watching the film, I was like, oh my gosh, we're doing another musical.
I know.
Hey everybody, just really quick, if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and hammer the like button. Okay, thanks a lot. We appreciate it. Now back to the show.
And you know what? I was able to turn the radio up and down as loud as I wanted it.
Megan wishes that she could do that to me.
So I was in the car.
You were in a car watching the film.
Yeah.
Buckle your seatbelt, Dorothy, because Kansas is going bye-bye.
I was in Sacramento, California. Have you ever heard of it?
Well, we've already gone over. I've never been to California, but I have heard of the rumored city.
The rumored city. So you're one of those people that unless you see it and feel it and touch it and all those other things, that it doesn't exist. It's a rumor.
Yeah, I know the Redwood Forest.
Do you remember the video that I sent you, though?
Oh, you mean the... No, so you want to start at the countdown that you sent me?
Well, we could start there.
Tell me more.
Yeah, you sent me a countdown saying in 9 hours you're going to be very mad at me or something
jealous.
like that. Jealous. And I was like, no context of what's going on.
That's it.
That's all I got. And so I was like,
Countdown app is
like,
counting it down.
9 hours is almost to the end of my shift. But why would I be jealous that I'm getting off? And so it got half hour before and you sent me an update. And I was like, oh no,
Yep.
this
It's
is
coming.
This
Here
is
it
something.
is.
What's going on?
So yeah, drive-in theater. I was in Sacramento and got to go to a drive-in theater, and it was like, started at just after 8 o'clock our time.
Yep.
6 o'clock their time, just after that. And it's like really weird because you go to a drive-in, and my experience with drive-ins has been like 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
You do it in the summertime.
Yeah, you sent me a picture or the video, and I was like, there's a lot of lights still going on here.
Let's not rush things. We don't even know what you have yet.
Yeah, it was pretty bright when I wanted to make sure there was still enough light when I did the video.
Right.
And stuff.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah. But yeah, it got dark. It was perfect. I mean, it was dark enough and it was great. Yeah. A lot of fun. Haven't been
That's
to one
amazing.
in years and years and years. And it was a blast.
I don't know if I've ever actually been to a drive-in.
Really?
If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
There's not a ton in Minnesota that you can go to anymore.
No, there's not. I mean, the season that we can really go to them is
Like a
very
good
limited.
4 days.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a lot of people that I talk to, like, oh, you're from Minnesota. I hear you have great summers. And it's like, yeah, all 2 weeks of them.
That's right. It's almost like Alaska. Like you get the whole 2 weeks of like you have really nice weather, but then it's just darkness.
Yeah.
I understand.
What was some of your favorite things about this?
I've really been, so we did this, when we watched Don't Look Up, I really like how they did the social media feed stuff. I also kind of liked how they did the live feed of Cat's life. And when they introduced Owen Wilson, did you notice the one that made fun of his nose?
Movies. The average person can be inspired by them. They can make us laugh. Movies can keep us on the edge of our seat, and so much more. Maddie's Movie Mix is a podcast for movie enthusiasts of all kinds. We hope you enjoy the show.
Wait. Matt Logan!
Yes, we both had the same problem. You.
Listen. You smell something?
Yippee-ki-yay. This is Tyler Peterson.
Yes.
I
The
was
social
like,
media feed.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I was like, what's wrong with this guy's nose? And I was
right.
like, that's perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
So I really enjoyed that. And like they made, like the actors were fine with being, I mean, they have to be fine getting made fun of because you're on the big screen.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's always fun when you can actually.
Has nobody made fun of you yet doing this?
No, but I also get made fun of my big nose. The beak. I didn't mean your nose, but I just made fun of, like...
Dude's on camera making a fool of himself. Oh, no, wait, I'm talking about
I do
myself.
that plenty of other times in my life.
No, I was, I thought about when they were doing the social media thing, I thought about Don't Look Up.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that's kind of the day and age that we live in. Everybody's on social media. They're doing all those things. I honestly, it rubs me a little bit the wrong way. I'm old. I get that. But I am on social media.
That's true.
So it's not like I don't know what it is or don't know how to use it. And
What's
things.
a live feed?
Exactly, right? Not that bad. But it's I also think that there's a time and a place for it and not. And that's what kind of like, it's like, and I see the things that are happening in the world and it's like, do we need to be on live TV 100% of the time?
No.
And that's kind of it was like, that sucks.
No,
but I get it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't care much for that part of it.
Okay. And it makes, I do understand that too
So what now?
You're watching a movie and so you don't want distractions like popping up on the sides all the time, that now you're focusing on what's going on the screen, now also what's going on the side. It's like watching YouTube and watching with the comment section going on with like I've done that a few times. I don't like it because I can't focus on both.
Right. You have to pick and choose for me. I mean,
absolutely.
And so, I mean, I understand it. I get why they do it, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. It's just not my favorite thing. Yeah.
I think I liked it better in this movie than in Don't Look Up.
They did a better job.
Again, my biggest, and this isn't about Don't Look Up, but they're going to consistently change shots. Like that's going to be my standard of like how you don't shoot films is what they did in that. But they did longer pans of like they actually walked with the characters and stuff like that, which was much easier and natural, I felt.
It did seem more real life.
Yeah.
Like with the social media parts I'm saying too.
Right.
Like that's what you would actually do in real life.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that it's the right thing to do, but all those, those Owen Wilson characters out there that
there was no wow.
Yep.
I was waiting for it and it just didn't happen, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Could you imagine getting just married on a stage like that?
No, I couldn't, but I also do understand like there's a place for something like that, maybe, I guess, in life and in the world, especially the way they ended up approaching it. Like, I mean, they approached it from a sense of, well, let's make this work for 90 days or whatever, 6 months or whatever that agreement they made was, right? And it's like, well, at least there's that effort.
Right. They didn't just decide to put it.
Right. That this is just, this is just a publicity stunt and things like that. So I did like that part of it. And I guess there's a place for when you're, I'm not going to say old, but mature enough.
That's right.
Right? There's a place for something like that.
Right.
Like you've had experience, you're mature in how you think and feel and know what's best and not best. And while marriage might be a little stretch for something like that, there's still a place for that spontaneity and like taking the risk.
Yeah, I liked how they even addressed that during the press conference thing.
Yeah.
Of like, I forget what the situation was, but they definitely talked about it. I was like, oh, that actually makes sense why they're continuing on rather than just... But I'm even saying like the whole setup that led to that was we're doing this whole live feed marriage. We're doing this whole concert.
Okay. That's what you were saying.
Yeah.
Sorry, I misunderstood.
No,
He still needs a lot of work.
I think both are good talking points, but like I just couldn't imagine of like, we're going to set up all these songs and this huge stage for us to get married. Like
right.
That's just not my preference. I'm sure it could be somebody's, but like.
And you think about how the celebrities and all the things that they do. I mean, it's practically that anyway.
Yeah, well, that's true.
I mean, the kind of fans and friends that they allow to take pictures and things. And a lot of them aren't that private
Right.
anyway.
So let's just put on a stage anyways.
Right. Might as well make some dough.
Yeah, that's right.
What are some of your quirky things that you figured out about it?
I couldn't find a ton. I tried.
There's not much on this, is
No.
there?
The only
That's
thing I had
true.
was that like Jennifer Lopez, like the story kind of paralleled Jennifer Lopez's own experience with Mary. Like not necessarily. She never did the whole I'm going to marry a random person.
Right.
But both have relationships who have had kids, cheated, and both were obviously singers. So there's some parallels. That's the only thing I could really find.
Yeah.
That was somewhat interesting.
Right. And so I didn't look at, this is based on Marry Me by Bobby Crosby.
Yep.
So I didn't look into what that is. And it's like, was this written because of like somebody like J-Lo?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and she just happened to produce it. Did you see that? She's one of the producers.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah. So she actually is one of the main producers of it.
Which kind of makes sense. She looked like she probably had if you're just going off the music, she had a good chunk of involvement of what was in the film.
Yeah. Which I also thought was interesting, and it made sense when I found out that she was a producer. She actually, the only way she would probably personally make much money on this and put this kind of effort into it is by producing it.
Yeah.
Because the budget was $23 million.
Yeah, it was a very small budget.
And can you imagine a budget of $23 million having Owen Wilson and Jennifer Lopez in the film?
Right.
Let alone some of the supporting,
Right.
I mean, Sarah Silverman probably doesn't make that much in a film anymore.
Right.
Maybe she never really did, but because she's not always, but mainly been a supporting.
Right. But still, she's a bigger name.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it amazed me with the budget and kind of the stuff that was involved within it.
Yeah. So, and then it leads me to, okay, it was released on the 9th in Los Angeles, not far from where I was.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, it's a little far, I guess, but
closer than Minnesota.
Right. But at any rate, and the general release was the 11th of February, but it was Peacock premiere.
I saw that too.
So they must pay. I mean, what do they
bucks.
pay?
I have no idea.
Millions and millions to premiere that.
I have no idea how those contracts get set up. It doesn't make sense to me.
It
does, but it doesn't. I mean, it makes sense for Peacock, but it doesn't always make sense to me for like releasing a film in the theaters.
Right. I'm getting to that point where I kind of, the lazy part of me likes the whole streaming thing.
Yeah.
and the convenience for sure.
I almost debated it because I like The Office.
Yeah.
And there's the few things. And Psych is on Peacock.
Okay.
That's the major one I like. And so I have a subscription to Peacock because of that stuff.
Sure.
And it's not all the subscriptions add up. I think it's like $4.99, which is in my mind considerably cheaper than what's going on with some of the other streaming services.
Yeah, I know. I'm about ready to drop Netflix.
That's how I feel. You know why I got Netflix again? When we did Red Notice, I had and I know I suggested Red Notice, but at the same point I was like, I've been detoxed from Netflix for probably 6-7 months, and then my dad showed me a trailer for Red Notice. Mm-hmm. I was like, shoot, they did it.
And other than some of the big, I don't mean to get off track here, but other than some of the big films like Red Notice and Don't Look Up, and
right.
There's not a lot on there right now that I think is super impressive.
No.
On Netflix.
At least on Netflix. No.
Not for $20 a month.
No. I agree.
I think it just went up, right? To 20.
There was
going up or something.
I don't know how much it went. I got a notification.
I got a Red Notice. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. I know, but the streaming services are great. The lazy side of me is like, kick back, have a beer, have some popcorn. Right. Okay, I don't drink beer, I don't like it, but taste of beer is yucky to me. Yes, I said yucky.
What am I thinking? Oh, Capri Sun.
How did you know?
I saw the box. Just kidding.
I swear it's for my grandkids. But to go to the film, especially in a drive-in like this, was super cool.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
And it makes you kind of miss some of the things like that, like the drive-in and going to the theaters
Right.
and things like that. So that's really good. I'm glad that that's starting to happen again.
Agreed.
And stuff like that. So that's a really positive thing about this for me. Having it, Red Notice there was no option. Netflix, that's it.
That's right.
Don't look up. Netflix, that's it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to go to the theater.
That's right. I like that we typically do an old and new movie because the newer ones we typically do get to go into the theater besides a few exceptions. And then I do get the lazy side of watching the old film and
Right.
stuff like that. It's a good blend.
It truly is. Truly is. And like you said, let's get in the ratings pretty quick here, but the thing, there wasn't much to find on this.
No, there wasn't. I tried to do digging on a lot of different facets and couldn't find a lot of information on it.
I mean, the most impressive thing that there is Kat Valdez is also the director's name is Kat.
I also saw that. I was like,
I mean, that's
coincidence?
That's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
That really, I mean.
And mentally, I'm thinking, I hate cats.
I hear you. Actor chemistry. I went in, did they do a film together before?
Yes.
Yes. It was a
Anaconda?
Anaconda. That's
Yeah.
right. I knew I saw that. Really long time ago, the 90s.
I think it was like 96 or something.
Sure. So,
it's been a few years /
wow.
decades
Yeah.
/ you can even say century because it's
right.
crossed.
Flipped over to a new century. So I was like, thinking, okay, this was going to be, kind of maybe cheesy because they weren't going to really put a lot of effort into it and the chemistry and things like that. And I think that they, all of them, Sarah Silverman included, I think they did a
coming
really
out with the fire
great,
extinguisher.
Yeah.
That was so much fun.
That was fun. And just the look on her face, it just was genuine.
Yeah.
The fire
Oh, it was so
extinguisher.
funny.
Yeah, it just seems so genuine.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the same thing because honestly, we talked about Marvel. Owen Wilson was in Loki, but other than that, I hadn't seen him in a ton.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and maybe I'm just not watching the films he's in.
Man, he's been in a lot of stuff.
Well, he has been a lot of stuff. I just
Yeah.
can't think of anything recently besides
Sure.
Loki that he was in, and maybe I'm just missing on it. But yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought, how is this going to work out? How is the dynamic of the movie? Like, it's a pretty obnoxious premise at the start of it of getting married on stage to a person that you didn't know, to a person that didn't even want to be there.
Right.
So,
and that's the thing about rom-coms too.
yeah,
It's
you
like
gotta push through that.
Yeah.
The rom-coms thrive in the idea of there's no way this could realistically
This is a
happen.
different planet.
That's right.
Like happen. Right. Yeah. Zoolander, Starsky and Hutch, The Wedding Crashers.
Yeah, but those are older.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's
I know
been
he's
in a
been
lot.
in a ton.
He's he was Lightning McQueen,
Oh, that's true.
and so that wasn't too long ago.
Ka-chow.
And some of the right,
Yeah.
and so, but, I agree. He hasn't been in a lot real recently.
Yeah.
But I think he did some voice acting and some other things, didn't he?
There's a good chance. I'm a terrible recognizer of voices during animated films.
Yeah.
Like, this sounds familiar, but then I never do the research of who it actually is.
Dude is 53 years old.
He's getting there.
It's
I mean,
almost-
that's younger than I thought it was.
He's
gonna be.
almost as old as I am.
I guess I have no grasp on actors' ages. But going back to actor chemistry, I thought Yeah, all of the relationships were interesting. I really liked how Kat developed a relationship with the students, and going in and prom and singing and the dancing and getting the students involved in different ways that were exciting, because that can be hard, especially for someone like Kat, who my feeling is that she isn't around kids a lot.
Yeah.
So for her to do that well, I thought was really cool, and it seemed really authentic. The only one that I had troubles with was Bastion and Kat, but I didn't know the history. Like, they show, like, obviously they were together for a year and a half, but like for them to, like, it was just a weird dynamic.
Yeah, it kind of was. Yeah. I don't think that he did a real great job. He did a good job. What was his name?
Maluma.
Yeah, Maluma.
Do.
And he did a good job, not a great job.
Yeah.
And, whatever. I don't know his background, honestly. I think
he's a singer.
Makes sense. I wasn't real interested in looking him up, honestly.
No.
So
he was not an interesting character.
He just wasn't that interesting.
Yeah.
It was kind of like one of those things, but kind of, you love to hate him.
That's right.
But 4.8.
Oh, nice. I gave
overall.
it a 4.5.
Okay. Yeah. I thought that the kids did really well also within J-Lo interaction.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a lot of fun. I would assume that some of those, even though they're kid actors, that they would struggle, like be starstruck.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
But I thought they did a great job.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you just never know. Again, I think $23 million budget. So, like, how much are these kids getting paid to do? Like, I guess I don't know how that goes.
$29.95.
We're gonna go down like a dark trail of, I'll take the number 8, the 3-kid platter with for 4 easy payments of $29.95. You can have
kid actor number 2. Kid actor number 4 is $39.95.
And with this one, not going down that trail. The kids were really good.
Yeah, I was really happy.
Parker would be a terrible guidance counselor. Did you think about that? Like, she was a guidance counselor who is supposed to be instructing these kids' futures. And so that's where I knocked it down the most, was because I was like, she's a guidance counselor.
No, I gave points for that, man.
Did you really?
Oh, yes. That's like, for sure. That's hilarious. That's legit.
That's true.
That's legit.
Yeah.
Not all guidance counselors, but and the thing with her in that character was that I loved was that's so real.
Yeah.
But she also, on the other side of it, loved so real.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So it that balance to me was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took me aback.
Yeah. I get it.
Should we talk about the filming locations?
I gave it a pretty decent score, and I'll tell you what it is later. But just because it was all in New York.
Yep.
But they did a really good job with it, I thought.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I thought it was interesting with the state, like the concert was really interesting with the lights and the different sets they had for the different songs. I thought it was cool how they transitioned into those, and we'll get into that with costume design, how those work together. But like, nothing was super extravagant, which I thought besides, so you had the starstruck life with Cats and all of her producers and a big house, big mansion, which I thought that was well done. And then you got the school, which I don't think it was a well-funded school from my understanding. It was a big school, but
I've been into a lot of schools, and that's pretty normal.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah. So I really liked how they did that. Even his own, what would be considered a loft.
Right.
I thought was well done. So I gave it a 4.3.
Okay. 4.4.
Okay.
And I liked how they did, even though it was in New York, they had the different, like you said, the mansion, and then the rich and famous kind of looks to the normal daily life. Like I can relate to that.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah.
That made sense. So I really liked how they did that. And I've talked about that before, even though it was in New York, everything's a location. Anytime that it's at a different place, like the concert or, you know, all of that, that's
even
a location.
The math league like the end competition, like
Peoria. Made sense.
So normally I love
ways from New York.
Normally I love puns. I do love puns, but I did not catch the pythons.
You didn't?
Until I saw a banner that said PI-thons, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
You didn't see their logo when they had it in the snake?
Well, that's why I realized
like
what it was.
They had it like
that.
Okay.
So
it was
like,
subtle. Yeah, I loved it. Yeah.
I was like, that's perfect.
Yep.
That's so much fun.
Yep.
But again, so the competition in Peoria.
Yeah.
How easy or how stereotypical would it be to make it up to be a huge thing with like a big audience for like, because I think it was finals.
Right.
And so, but they kept it really local, like small, which I think is authentic to probably.
It's a mathathon.
A mathathon.
Mantodon. Wait, who?
It's not an English competition, that's for sure.
Cinematography. Bright lights.
Bright lights in the big city.
There are 4 lights. Do you know what that is?
No.
Oh, that is Star Trek.
See, I did a lot of Star Wars. I did some Doctor Who.
I got to start watching Doctor Who again.
It's so good.
It is good.
I've watched the 10th. I watched Christopher Eccleston.
See, I didn't care much for him. I did watch the
and he was only first season. I thought it was a good transition to David Tennant, who's my favorite Doctor.
Right.
And then
no, right. That was the beginning.
Yep.
Sorry.
And not like the black and white stuff that I don't care about.
Yeah. So you're talking about the beginning of the reboot.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yes. He was good.
And Matt Smith. Those were the 3 that I watched.
Yeah, Matt Smith's great. David Tennant, though, was really good.
He was my favorite.
He's really good.
He is so good.
Yeah.
And I think part of the reason he was my favorite was because the companion's name was Rose Tyler. And I was like, that's almost my name, but I'm not a girl, but I still connect to it. But cinematography.
I'm going to have to insert a clip here that's like something that's so weird.
Yeah. So weird.
Oh boy. Cinematography. How did we get off on that tangent? It's just kind of like what conversations are, aren't they?
I think that's it. I think it was you did a reference.
It's my
to
fault.
Star Trek.
It's my fault.
And I can't relate to Star Trek.
Right. So it's the next generation. Picard is taken captive and tortured, and they there's these lights that the short version, there's these lights in the torture chamber, and they're telling him that there are 5 lights.
Oh.
And so, but he knows there are 4. But they give him a carrot and say, if you say, you know, what's not true, we're going to feed you and you're going to live a lot better, you know, the short version. And so he's like, finally, he didn't give in. He says, no, there's 4 lights, man.
That's why he's my captain.
He's the captain.
Oh, captain, my captain.
So anyway, that's the 4 lights.
That's a poem. 4 lights.
So that's why cinematography, because what I was thinking of was all the lights and stuff, right, at the concert and how they did all those things. And
even with some of the prom.
Yeah.
They had fun lights.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed how that was captured.
Yeah.
I think that you can really screw that up sometimes.
Right.
But I think that they did a really good job.
Yeah. There was
especially, I was impressed for the $23 million budget.
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah. How did they? I don't know.
know.
That seems weird.
To me, it's easily 45, 50.
Easily. I mean, look at what Ghostbusters.
That's right.
What did we say? We were stunned by it. 35?
No. 30. Oh, the original?
Yeah.
Okay.
The original.
Yeah. Okay.
We were stunned by that budget.
Yeah.
And this is $10 million less.
Yeah. It's insane.
Did you hear Ghostface out there? Or was that there's some wind? Ghostface?
No, Ghostface. Who are you going to call? Oh my gosh. I am done with those screams. We watched it. We reviewed them. They're in the past.
We're going to actually do a scary movie. And we're
The movie?
No, a scary movie.
No, let's watch the scary movie.
We could watch the scary movie, but we're going to screen a scary movie.
Screen or scream?
Screen. And you'll probably scream.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then I'll probably laugh.
Yeah.
We might have a camera on you specifically.
And I'll have an extra pair of pants.
There it is.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Talk about tangents.
Cinematography, 4.5.
Hey, that's what I gave it.
We
4.5. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What's wrong with you?
Well, what's wrong with you?
I don't know. There's clearly something, but.
The only thing, and this is why I didn't take it off cinematography. I think they missed an opportunity where they were talking about the wedding planning going, the first wedding, the one between Bastian and Kat, where it was big and huge. And Charlie and Kat have conversations of like, Kat didn't even want a big wedding.
Right.
She would want something small and local.
Well, it was like her 18th wedding or something.
That's right.
No, was it 6th?
I think
7th? Seriously.
I thought it was 4th or 5th.
Where are you going? Come back. I didn't level the floor on the remodeled space. I'm sorry.
So if I just roll away, you'll know why.
He's mad at me. We're fighting.
Happens in relationships, man. Anyway, I thought they missed that. I feel like what they should have ended it on was a small wedding between Charlie and Kat.
Kind of that. Yes, that
going
would have been
full circle.
That would have made sense.
Yeah. Again, I didn't mind how it ended. Spoiler. Actually, I don't even know how it spoil it. I mean, the whole premise is they got married right away. Spoiler, they stay married, I think.
That is kind of like, that's really the spoiler, isn't it? Or is that a good thing?
Yeah. But so I really wish they would have done that. But again, I liked how it ended too with the math league and stuff like that. I also liked the choice that Charlie was the one that started dancing when Lou started getting nervous.
Yep.
I thought for sure, because they were doing the whole cliche, oh, is she going to make it to the tournament or not, that she would come in and start dancing. And then, but I really liked that they chose Charlie to be the one dancing. And then Kat could come in, see Charlie, see the situation, be like, "Oh man, this is what I want."
Right. This is a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Costume.
So, fun fact: I created rules for the red dress because I was trying to figure out when I saw the prom scene.
So tell people about the red dress then.
So Matt loves seeing. So this is from The Matrix.
Yep.
Where there's a big red dress that just pops and stands out. Doesn't necessarily. I haven't seen The Matrix for a while.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily make sense to the scene, but because it pops, really stands out. Matt really likes those things. Costume design. The standout.
It's like, hey, look.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to be here.
That's right.
Type thing. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So as you've listened, Matt really likes, or now I make fun of it, so where's the red dress? And so I've been starting to do red dress sightings where it's legitimate. And this is where I'm panning out the rules of red dresses in the scene. So that being said, I was like, I have to create rules because when I was watching the prom scene, I was like, there's like 5 red dresses in the background. I was like, I really don't want to count those because they don't stay true.
Exactly.
So my red dress rule that I created when I was watching Marry Me, and actually even when we talked about The Notebook, I had to create rules too, or I stood by those rules, is that I think the outfit has to be predominantly red because we've seen in the past like red suits.
Yeah.
And those kind of stand out. And people, I just don't think, or women don't wear dresses as much. And it's nice because you can also fit it to men if they're wearing a red suit, like in The Greatest Showman. So my rules is that it has to be, the person has to be the main focus on the scene. So in this one, there was 2 scenes where it was Anchor. Is that anchors? Anchor woman? Anchor man? I know there's anchor man, anchor woman.
Just a news anchor, I think is what they call them now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was 2 scenes where there
Anchorman,
were.
I think, is a movie or
The
something.
Anchorman is a movie off of a man who is an anchor, but not in the sea on a screen telling news.
Yes.
Makes no sense.
Because he was the anchor.
Wearing a nice mustache. Stay classy. So
San Diego.
That's right. San Diego. So it has to be a predominant shot in the scene. So those I counted because those were the only things in those scenes.
Sure.
It was just the lady telling the news.
Yep.
And then in the wedding, or not the wedding, the prom, there was a bunch of red dresses in the background. I'm not going to count those because that's not what we're meant to be focused on. So I counted 3.
Okay.
And let me know if I missed anything based off of those rules. But I counted 3 again, the 2 anchor scenes. And then at the end, when Kat's wearing that weird poofy red dress thing, which I actually thought fit as a red dress for you.
For sure.
Something that stood out. So I was like, this hits.
Yep.
So I counted 3.
But part of those rules should be like in Don't Look Up when when Ariana had the goofy weird feather whatever outfit.
No, so that's something I'm only counting red
so
dresses.
You're just doing red.
That's the only
not a stand out like outfit.
No, I'll let you talk about those.
Okay.
I'm just making fun of you in your red dress.
All right. That works. I like it. I like
because all the other things should be interpretive. So these rules are hopefully sticking true of like, are they wearing the outfit predominantly red?
Yeah.
And are they a focus in the scene?
There's more than you think, isn't there?
Well, when we get to the Notebook, there's a ton.
I know.
I had to like get both my hands out to like 1, 2, 3. But Marry Me, I only counted 3.
Yeah.
And
that sounds about right.
Let me know if I'm wrong, but that's what I counted. Those are the rules that I'm counting these dresses on.
Hey, I like them. You should send me. We'll post them.
Sounds good.
What did you give the score then?
I gave it a 4.4. I thought Kat had a bunch of fun and weird dresses outside of the red one.
Yep.
She had, again, a weird, I don't know what the feathers and the white.
It's a thing now.
It's so weird, and I don't get it. When we first started the movie, I got slightly concerned because during where a bunch of people were nuns.
Yeah.
And Jennifer Lopez had this super weird I don't even know how to explain it.
It was so it wasn't her, it was a skin color.
It was a skin color.
Yeah. It wasn't her skin, which is better, I guess. But it was that was confusing. I don't know.
It was an overall very PG film for a rom-com.
Yeah.
I really appreciated that. Again, when I saw that, I was like, oh, it's probably going to get a little saucy going throughout the film. But no, I thought it was incredibly PG and really enjoyable.
Yeah.
So that's what I was going. Those were the things that stood out to me when it came to costume, and then Owen just wearing his normal dad outfit.
Yeah. I liked the balance, the costumes where the celebrities were wow.
Yeah.
And the average people were average.
Yeah.
I kind of liked how that stood out, and it was like a definite, I don't fit in here. And, both sides. I mean, I don't mean that there's a place for celebrity over the top stuff, I guess, if that's your thing, whatever, that's great.
Right.
If your thing is you dress like me, that's great.
Yeah.
I dress like me.
I dress like me.
So
you dress like you.
Right. So I think I like that balance because there's a lot of both.
And they didn't try to change anyone throughout the film.
Exactly.
They stayed constant.
Yep. So I really like that. With the costume design, they did that as well. So I gave it actually a 4.6.
Nice.
I was pretty happy with it.
You got your red dresses. You got everything.
I got it all. Music and the score.
So again, I didn't think this movie was going to be very music themed, which again was just pure stupidity. I should have realized going in that there was going to be a lot of music. It's about a huge artist.
Right.
So I don't know what's going on in my mind. I was happily entertained throughout this film that there was a lot of music. The one thing is that the "Marry Me" song is very catchy, but it's
It
not
is
my
super catchy.
not my favorite song. I really like "On My Way," the one that she ends up. Spoiler, turns out to be for Charlie's character. The "On My Way."
Oh, right.
On my way to you. Yeah, so I thought that one was super good.
Yeah.
Didn't actually listen to a lot of the background music because I had the main music stuck in my head through most of the film. So I gave it a 4.4. I thought it was catchy, enjoyable, made sense. I liked how they did have the music creation go throughout the film. And again, On My Way made sense to the character development that happened.
Yep. I kicked your butt.
Did you?
Well, a little bit.
I felt it.
I was really happy. So I was thinking going into it, obviously, J-Lo. It's going to have music. It's going to be probably over the top.
Yeah.
But I thought it would be very repetitive.
No.
And it wasn't.
Yeah. Again, my complaint was they sung "Marry Me" too many times.
Sure. But I thought that they would do it like every 5 minutes. Like I thought it was going to be super repetitive because a lot of times that's what they do when it's like the name of the film and the name of the song. And they're like, repeat.
Ingrained this in your mind. Can I say what doesn't make sense with some of the, and then again, this isn't necessarily the music, but the story to the music. They did this huge progression for "On My Way" being like hitting the top of the charts. But then what happened?
Yeah.
I was like, this is weird. And then they sang "Marry Me" at the end. Again, it makes sense because that's what the movie is called. But they did this huge progression of like "On My Way" is hitting the top of the charts. And I was like,
I think the reason, what I took from that, I'll just say it like that. What I took from that is that she thought, Kat in the film thought that "Marry Me" would be like what brought her to the top.
Yeah.
Like this whole deal would bring her to the top.
Yeah.
Right. But when she got super real about the relationship with, Charlie.
Yeah.
That actually is what brought her to the top of the charts. So
good
that's
points.
how I took it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's how they meant it, but that's how I took it.
Film is interpretive.
Right. So 4.6
nice
is what I gave it because I was happy it didn't just repeat itself over and over and over and over and over. And so they had a lot of variety in it. Yeah. That's how, I enjoyed that.
Overall entertainment. Do you like rom-coms? Like I guess we never talk about like what's our favorite genres. We talked about what least favorite genres we have.
I have to kind of be in the mood for it.
Okay.
And I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. They're very predictable.
Oh yeah.
And I don't really like that. I mean, I sometimes do. Again, you have to be in the mood.
Yeah.
But being that predictable, I guess, most of the time it's like I have to hit it at the right time.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll watch them and it's like, this is great.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to watch that again.
Right.
And then I watch it again and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I actually watched this before.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I am with
I was
it.
just curious.
Yeah. It's a mood thing for me.
That's fair.
Overall entertainment value, I was very entertained. I think that they moved it along fast.
Yeah.
There weren't real slow moments. I didn't like the social media thing, as I said at the beginning.
Right.
That's okay. It did fit
Yep.
for what it is.
Yeah.
So that was entertaining, even though I didn't care for it.
Yeah.
So 4.6 for overall entertainment.
Nice. That is also what I gave it, was a 4.6. I liked how they blend technology, fame, and love together because it is a balance of.
I like how you said that.
Yeah.
I
could not tell you how I said it because I said like how they bring technology, fame, and love together.
We have it on film, so we
Good.
can hit it on
That's
repeat.
just hit the loop if you want to hear it again.
No, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, so that's what I really enjoy. I mean, that was the premise of the film, is how do you, again, Charlie's character never wanted to be in the spotlight. He hates it. He never had social media, which is fine. But then you got now with Kat, who's overly famous. And so now blending those lifestyles together and seeing the balance of what is the good that can come from social media. And so they started doing the live feeds of the math tournaments and stuff to get involvement and engagement with the kids and then other people. But then Kat also realizing that I'm probably too much on my screen and that we can focus more on together. So that dynamic I think is really applicable. And again, the social media stuff, like they did a ton at the beginning, but they didn't do it as much towards the end.
Right.
Which I thought was a good segue to really how the film was working.
Mm-hmm.
And so I gave it a 4.6 for those reasons.
Yeah, that's nice. Overall rating, I told you for a little while at least I would do the emotional.
That's right.
Like how I
Was
really
that
felt
Ethos?
about it.
No.
Yeah.
I forget which one it is.
Yeah, I forget which one it is too, but the it's interesting because in the Notebook I'm going to talk about that more too, because I really had some strong decisions based off of emotions on that. But this one, for the overall rating on that kind of emotional scale, start to finish of the film, the way it all fit together, the way I felt about it, is a 4.2.
Okay.
I did excuse me, I did kind of bump it up a little bit just tonight.
Yeah.
Just because I was thinking about it again, and
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that it probably deserves another couple tenths of a point.
Yeah, I gave it a 4.4. I think rom-coms are very hit and miss. Again, we just got done with the horror films. The same. I feel like it's the same idea where you get one or two diamonds in the roughs.
Yeah.
And I think this is for the genre is a diamond in the rough because it's very relatable, and it's maybe not necessarily relatable, but like at least enjoyable. And it has a good story.
Yeah, it's really enjoyable. Like I'll buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, when it becomes available, I'll definitely buy it.
Yeah.
When it's $5.
That's right. Which probably won't take long. Rom-coms go down quick.
No, right, exactly. A year from today,
That's right.
It'll be like $7.
That's right. Platinum edition.
Hey, we appreciate you. We want to hear from you. As Tyler said a couple of times, tell us what you think. We enjoy the criticism, even though we don't deserve it. We enjoy it. Or did I say that right?
I don't deserve it. Matt does.
It's true. See you next time.
Okay, so I'll see you later, huh? I'll give you a call.
So it's done.
It's done.